PEINTEINGU 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 Oh! PEINTEINGU goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, sip sip. Painting goo. Ooh, hazelnut. Painting goo. PEINTEINGU PEINTEINGU goo PEINTEINGU. Oh. Everybody give it up for Myro. The whole stream's just gonna be Myro. I went to see Rammstein yesterday. Fuck. PEINTEINGU goo goo goo. Goo, 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 goo. Who the fuck goes to see Rammstein on a Sunday? Painting goo, 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 goo. Painting goo, painting goo, goo, painting goo, goo. PEINTEINGU PEINTEINGU goo 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 PEINTEINGU goo 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 goo. Bring it home, Myro. Oh, sip sip. PEINTEINGU PEINTEINGU goo 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 goo. Greetings, mortars. I'm just gonna sit here and weep from my pores. I'm sweating out the alcohol. I didn't even have that much alcohol. Oh god. That's it. Play me some beautiful tunes, Myro. Play me a beautiful song, monkey. Monkey! Play me a tune! For those of you who have any honor, you may place a tip in the monkey's burr by clicking the link in the description of this live stream. I bid you a happy Monday, you. From all of us here at PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. Myro's piano playing is bringing me back to life. Is that a hair? Eating my mustache. Oh god. I'm just gonna do the whole stream like this. I'm not gonna show my face. Oh, seriously, who the fuck goes to a gig on a Sunday? Oh. Legendary people, that's who. Pray it, Myro! Retrieve my soul from the underworld! PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. It's PEINTEINGU. Oh, God, my back! Oh. Oh. Oh, fucking sweating. Oh. Strap those keys, you cheeky monkey. You have any honor, you give it up for our very own piano-praying monkey, Myro, the mischievous monkey. Oh, it's so glorious. It's so beautiful. Listen to that monkey ticker those keys. As we prepare for another week of Paintingu. Bring it home, Myro. That's it. Remind the people what beauty is. What is more beautiful than a monkey playing the piano? Paintingu. Oh, so beautiful. Listen to the beauty. I'm going to weep. It's so pretty. Excellent work, Myro. Excellent work. You have done a fine job this day. But if nobody tips you, you're still not being fed. Greetings, my beloved Japanites, and all you other filthy mortals. And welcome to another glorious episode of Paintingu. You must excuse me while I turn on the... Oh god, that right is oppressive. Oh god. It's blinding. Right is blinding. I must descend to proper Paintingu posture. Oh, okay. There we go. My stool is retarded. It is very slow. Greetings, and happy Monday, my beloved Japanites, and all your other filthy mortars. And welcome to another glorious episode of Paintingu, where I, Defenderu, demigod of Paintingu, suffer greatly as I remind you all, you pathetic filthy mortars, that the things like honor, beauty, grace, consistency, hard work, and creative genius are still present in your currently degrading rapidly society. Despite a litany of sin about the praise, Paintingu is a bastion of honor, good, true, and beautiful things. People like Woo Rideru and Demon Hunteru and our very own Stabberu. You are all welcome here on Paintingu. I am fucking sweating. Oh. Rammstein was good. The pyrotechnics and rites and smoke was good. Was sehr gut, ja. Ja, der Rammstein was good, ja. But on a fucking Sunday, even a demigod like myself has succumbed to drinking too much sake and not getting enough sleep. Indeed, God bless to all. Hello, I am here. The show may now begin. Indeed. At least one Japanite must be present for Paintingu to take place. Otherwise, why do shit if no one witnesses it? Like, share, and subscribe or you have no honor. Stabaru reminds us all, and reminds you, Garros, you pathetic kitten, to do your fucking job. Do your goddamn job, Garros, and remind the pathetic mortars to like and subscribe to Paintingu, or I will fling my giant cat at you. Tiger, kitten, feline, four-legged furry-clawed thing. Why is he wearing a bucket and sunglasses? Because he has developed X-ray vision from the copious amounts of cocaine he consumed, as he was subjugated by Don Branco, one of the most powerful Colombian drug cartel members. I, in my glorious demigodliness, saved him from his hellish existence. Oh, Brother Tobias, you seem a bit weary. My birdie was tilted. Perhaps a cleansing of the chi. Glorious. Those cleansing vibrations from my tiny dong. So important. To vibrate the chi and knock loose the rust of the weekend. Some tunage as we engage in the goo. We return to the island of St. Vincent's and Grenadines, whatever the fuck that is. Is that a fruit? I have no idea. Or somebody's misinterpreted translation of grenades or some shit. I don't know. The island of Vincent and his grenades. I sense a day off in your near future. How dare you? How dare you predict things? I am a demigod. On this stream. On this canvas. In this kimono. While wearing this headband and top knot. I am demigodu of Paintingu. Therefore, only I will make predictions. And I predict that you may be correct. Sip, sip. I had no honey this morning, so I substituted the honey with some hazelnut syrup. It is glorious. Now, I will engage the funk and road this parrot with goo. It's Monday. It is time to shake off the weekend and braze forward into a new... What is this? What is this funky tunage? I have no interest in your foosbar. Big up. Ooh, aggressive. The fuck out of this car before I shoot you, bitch. I like it. Get a rot. What is this? Another advertisement on Paintingu. The nerve. Nerve of these people.
Bring the prince to manhood.
Oh.
To destroy evil.
Send the ninjas!
The evil warrior
Okay.
has sent a team of assassins
If you haven't got your chi already,
to kill the prince.
you're fucked. We're about to go. Oh. Paintingu, goo, goo, goo. Oh my Baku. Oh, big stretchu. Oh, crickety crick. Oh. Oh, sip, sip. I cleaned my parrot. There was a lot of hardened goo on it. So I must actually road the parrot. Most of the time when I say I'm roading the parrot, I'm just semi-roading the parrot, you know? Some brew, some euro where it's needed, you know? But today, I must erode everything. And I enjoy this. I enjoy taking my colors. Being grateful for them. These beautiful, flowing goo of rife. Some euro. Some red. My neck and my back are in painu. Your neck and your back are in painu. John O'Shea! Welcome to Paintingu. You honor us with your presence, pruner of things. How are you this fine Monday?
All the sports, all the action, all taste better with Apache Pizza Game on Meal.
Go a fucker yourself! I have no need for you and your pizza. Italian trash. It is possible that I might be overtly aggressive this fine Monday as a result of lack of sleep and some alcohol I had yesterday. Rammstein was sehr gut. My back was fucking killing me though. Oh shit. The brew just squirted all over the place. You sick fuck! Can't be doing that live on the internet. How dare you? You are talking to a tube of paint. It is my goo! And it has disobeyed me! I should start trying to take more care of the blue one in particular. It clogs and hardens like way more than the other colours. Whatever composition is involved in this particular colour. It just loves just turning to fucking chalk. Like look at the crease stain. Look at the crease stains. Jeez. Look at the crease marks. See the heavy crease marks in that tube? You can clearly see that I've like twisted it like vigorously, you know, like with a good amount of force to like whiten and crease the plastic. Whereas like the other tubes, even the yellow one is nearly empty, like nothing wrong with it, it's fine. It's like the composition of the paint is like such that it just like hardens well quicker than the other colours. And not only does it harden quicker, but it hardens to a greater extent. It's like denser. Genuinely is like a chunk of chalk. When I was cleaning it off the palette earlier on before the fucking before the stream, I was like chipping the shit off the fucking thing, like, you know. It's funny because, like, you know, basic acrylics, like, they're just very, like, they're like plastic. They tend to just, like, they will still chip, but a lot of the time they'll just, like, peel, you know? But that shit's like fucking concrete when it's dry. Ah, the green. There's just something about, like, I love most colours. I don't see a colour and I'm, like, not a fan of that, typically, anyway, like. There's just something about permanent green middle, like just, you know, like just middle green, you know, like dark grass, you know. It's beautiful. Running low on the old white, like fucking Europe. It clogs and hardens, phrasing. Like, it hardens, phrasing, sure, but what do you mean it clogs? What are you on about? Mine's never gotten clogged. It's like... It's like... You want to talk to your doctor about that stabber? Like... Bankai! Oh! Painting! Round 1! Paint! You know the way they have like rap battles? How funny would it be if we got like... I got like somebody else to do like somebody, like we get somebody and dress them up as like a fucking... a Roman centurion or some shit. And we'll like get on a stage and have like a paint-off, Paintingu style. Like you have like tunes playing and all, like, and he has a canvas and I have a canvas and we have to like paint some shit or something. Like, it'd be so fucking funny. Round 1! Paint! And like we just have to like furiously like paint something. You know, like we'll pull shit out of a hat like I do on here or something, like, you know, like pick a country, pick a thing or something, like maybe just pick one thing. You have to paint it real quick. And then the crowd has to be like, you know, they have to decide who won the round. Like, I think that'd be hilarious. Like instead of a rap battle, it's like a creativity battle or something, like, you know. And like the point would be to like somehow use the thing you have to paint in some way, like insult your opponent or something. Like, it'd be hilarious. Like if he's dressed up as a Roman centurion and like you get rabbit in the hat or something, like you do fucking Julius Caesar getting like fucking hard-ored by a fucking I've definitely said rape before on this stream, so I'm just gonna say just get like Julius Caesar getting raped by a rabbit, like, and then when you turn the thing around, like, he's like, how dare you insult a historical figure, like. Dude just getting humped like violently by it. Like, obviously cartoon style, you know. I wouldn't like make it like real graphic and realistic. Like, I mean, that'd be horrifying. Oh god, that's like nightmare fuel. Oh fuck. It's like, imagine waking up from that nightmare. You'd wake up and be like, you're like, your missus turns around to you, what's wrong? Did you have a nightmare? And you're like, nope, I did not. Nothing. It's just an unpleasant dream. Wasn't a nightmare. Don't want to talk about it. You guys are out somewhere and she's like, oh look, a rabbit, and you're like, like a fucking PTSD, like. You fucking kids watching cartoons on the telly, Bugs Bunny comes on the screen and you just start getting flashbacks, like. Oh fuck. Oh my god, I'm sweating. It's so warm in here. Fuck. And like I'm drinking like hot coffee. It's like 20 degrees. Is it like 20 degrees? What? How hot is it today? It's fucking warm outside, like. Oh, I can't wait till I have like a fucking soundproof studio or some shit, but like I can like crack it. I just have like a fan. I need to get a fan. We have a fan, but I'm not arsed like getting it. I'd have to like position it so the mic wouldn't pick it up, like. It's like, it's a whole thing. Right. Alright. What the fuck? Thanks. Like, just put a fucking thermometer thing. Like, that's hilarious. Right. The last, what was it, Friday? We just start doing the Giga Chad Mouse, who has emerged from the ocean, otherwise known as the ocean. Jesus, listening in for 5 minutes and it's rabbits raping people. I'm only here 5 minutes and the fucking... Actually, they're not marsupials, are they? Or rodents. I was about to say rodents. I recently heard that rabbits are like a part of a particular, like, you know, family of mammals or some shit. Can't remember the name. Oh, that's fucking funny though. Jesus, I'm only here for... It's Monday morning, he's already talking about fucking, like, Jesus. Jesus? Fucking Julius Caesar. I nearly said Jesus Caesar. Could you imagine if fucking Caesar named one of his kids Jesus? It'd be so funny. Jesus Caesar! Right, okay. I'm just getting distracted and I'm rambling. Why? Because I'm fucking knackered. I mean, look at me. Look at the hack of me, like. Look at the state of me. Call myself a demigod. I look like fucking... I look like an eighth of a god right now. Oh, fuck. Right. Like, I can literally feel, like, the sweat just, like... Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not dripping sweat. It's just, like, a lot of moisture has, like, come to the surface of my flesh and is just, like, sitting there. It's, like, so humid in here. Oh, God. I wish Tobias was really aboard and I just get him to be flapping his wee wings on me. I just get the board to, like, just sit on my head and flap his wings. You alright? Well, I have the fan. But, like, I can't painting goo if I fucking... Well, I suppose if I did fan with my left hand, I could painting goo with, like... This is actually super effective! Like, I instantly feel better. Oh, God. Are you going out, are you? What? You're going to work? Oh, I didn't think you were going in. Which? No. I was only saying that I had to, like, plug it in and put it at a particular distance and angle so the mic wouldn't pick it up and shit, like, because it's quite loud, like. I'll just do it analog, you know, like I fucking do everything. You off now, are you? Sorry, go on, I'll talk to you later. It's good for you to sweat out the Rammstein AIDS. The Rammstein AIDS. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Yeah, like, Rammstein's pretty gay, like, in a lot of ways, like, you know. Free gig, though, you know. It was just offered, like, last minute thing, like. And some of our tunes are bangers. And the fucking show they put on is like, man, you should have seen the setup. When you walk in, it looked like fucking, like, it looked like industrial. It looked like a 2000s industrial version of Mordor. Just these fucking towers and huge fucking, like, when I say huge, I mean these things were like 30 feet across, of just this, like, massive circle, like, you know, kind of like they look like giant heaters. They look like giant, like, air heaters. But what they actually were was like massive, like, floodlights. But it wasn't a single light. It was like dozens of little lights in this huge circle casing. What? Oh yeah, no, like, I don't think they didn't do anything that I missed, really. The confetti, the fireworks, the flamethrowers, the fucking, like, my back was killing me, so we were standing in the pit, so I was like, my back's fucking killing me, and I just went and got a burger. Fucking nearly €14 for just a burger. $13.50 for a fucking burger. Now, I'll admit, it was decent. Like, it was actually alright, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't fucking worth $13.50 though. My whole, like, oh fuck. Oh, fucking dying. Like, I'm not really hungover, you know? I don't feel, like, ill or nauseous or anything. I'm just, like, really warm and, like, sweating, and I'm knackered. I didn't get to sleep till, like, fucking, I don't know what time I got to sleep at. And then I woke up at, like, oh god, delicious. Oh god. Oh, I'm fucking hungry now. Oh, why'd you do it to me? You put fucking meat in between two things of bread and, like, put some greens in there and you put it in front of me, and now I'm fucking starving. Oh, I'm gonna start crying. Rabbits are raping ruminants. Is that what they're called? Ruminants? Because that kind of sounds like what your man said on that video. Do you know that rabbits are not, they're not rodents and they're not marsupials. They're like, I think he said ruminants or something like that. I could be wrong. Like, they like their pyro. Oh man, yeah, like, dude, I was like, easily, like, definitely over 100 feet away from the actual stage. We were like halfway into the pit, and it was a huge pit. Like, it's fucking arena is like fairly large. There was like easily thousands of people there, like, you know. And like, it wasn't hundreds, like, you know, it was like shoulder to shoulder for fucking a whole like football pitch, like, you know, it was like, or like more, yeah, easily a whole like proper stadium, like football stadium. Like, I don't know how big the RDS stadium is, like, but like, fuck me, was it like, I like fanned myself for like 2 seconds and I'm like, oh yeah, I feel better, and then it just immediately comes back. That's why we invented electric fans, Defender. It's like, fuck off. If you don't have the arm strength to fan yourself, then you don't get fanned, you know? Fan yourself or fuck off. My arms are already getting tired. Oh fuck. It was a decent, like, it was a good gig, like, it was I was already tired and it was on a Sunday, you know. I was just like, oh, effort to this, like, but it was grand, like, you know, it was a good thing now, like, and fucking it was the female's ma bought the tickets and shit, and she was just like, here, I have 2 tickets now, and go and shit, like, so we went. It was a good old time. I probably had a head on me, like, fuck it, like, I was grand for the first like hour, and then like after about an hour I was just like, I can't take this anymore, my back is killing me, like, it's just standing there in the one spot for ages. So fucking sore, like. I'm like, you know, like, I'm not like I like the music, and like, you know, for a few minutes I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know, the spectacle of the thing, I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool, you know, I can see the appeal. But very quickly I'm like, all right, like, I want to go get some food or some shit, like, so, like, because I'm just like, I'm not real big into like I'm not a big dancer, and even then, like, you know, fucking like in a mosh pit or something, like, everybody's just doing this and, like, you know, waving their hands and stuff, which, like, I don't mind, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've been in a few mosh pits, they're a bit of crack, you know, like, it's just like, you have to be in the mood, like, you have to be in the mood to, like, get your nose broken, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, and it wasn't one of those gigs. Rammstein's not one of those gigs. There's no like walls of death or circle pits, like, there wasn't even really like what you'd call a, I suppose it technically is a mosh pit, because like it's a pit and like everyone's standing and they're all like doing this and shit. Like, it was cool, like, it was definitely cool. It was worth going. Fucking burger wasn't worth $13.50 though, I'll tell you for fucking that much. Anyone else looking forward to Boot Boy Week? Is he gonna do Boot Boy Week? I thought it was hilarious the way he was like people were like, oh, here we go, it's Nazi week, like, the Nazis are gonna get it, like, you know, and he's like, oh, I don't know, man, like, they're such losers, like, I totally get that, like, there's certain energy forms that aren't, like, entertaining and appealing to interact with, like, they're just draining and frustrating and tedious, and, like, they go nowhere, and, like, it's real hard to maintain, like, semblance of, like, positivity, be humor and shit. Like, you just have these fucking bitch ass niggas, these losers who just like have all these like weak fucking perspectives on life, like, like, a lot of my personal anger and frustration that I, like, even to this day still have, like, I've expelled like a shitload of it, like, I'm in a much better place now, but like, it's just like frustration with, like, you know, how fucking idiotic and bureaucratic and political and fake and gay society has been. Just even me growing up, I was born in 1991, I'm a 90s kid, and I turned 33 in November, So I have 32 years of experience overall of the fucked up society that we have, you know, in like mainstream Western society. Like, you know, it's mad. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like everyone has like issues, you know what I mean, and problems. Like, and I don't think it's as bad here, but like, you know, you look at somewhere like the States where like all these people are on fucking, you know, antidepressants and shit. Like, do you know what I've noticed a huge fucking like red flag pattern from watching all those like interrogations, murderer interrogations, serial killer interrogations, what's other ones, like kidnapping and rape interrogations and stuff like that, and all, like, or well, mainly, like, you know, that's more like the psychotic violent. Mainly a lot of females who are lesbians, and then a lot of dudes who are like, I suppose you'd kind of put them in the incel box or something like that, like, you know, involuntary celibates, for people who don't know what incels are. These, like, you know, basement dwelling fucking dudes who look like Gollum. It's fairly apparent to me anyway, like, you know, fucking in my humble opinion, from what I can see, that there's like a huge correlation between people who are on antidepressants and people who like go completely psycho. You know, like, do you know what I mean? It's always the same. It's like, have you been taking your meds? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and they're standing there covered in blood with a knife. Like, it's like, like, we live it. When people say we live in a sick society, they generally are coming from the point of view of like, sick in the mind, which, you know, obviously there is, you know, a truth in that. Like, but I think we live in a sick society because people are actually like ill. Like, we're collectively ill. There's like I think there's a they're like, oh, the pandemic, and it's like, you know, a total fucking farce. But there is actually a pandemic in a sense, because there's the epidemic of pan. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm sure Owen's spoken about pan and stuff like that before. It's like there's literally widespread corruption and infection and tainting and injury and trauma of our like minds and souls, you know, to the point where like most people are like on a level like broken to some degree, where they're like, you know, they have like weaknesses and fears, and those things like rule their decision making process and stuff. Like, it is, I think one of the reasons why I've been able to fucking like really level the fuck out in a lot of ways is like that personal accountability and faith is like a really powerful combination. Like, of like, nothing's gonna happen if I don't do it, you know, and whatever like bad shit happens, I played a part in it. And then, you know, whatever about believing in any particular god or dogma or religion or whatever, like, just having faith, like actual faith, you know, belief that something will work out or will happen, like, you know, it's an incredibly powerful combination, because you just find yourself like just at ease, because like there is definitely that initial fear of like, hold on, it's all on me, fuck, because there's that responsibility, like, you know, but very quickly I find the realization of like that you're actually in control, because that's what a lot of people, like, I suffered from that. I suffered from feeling powerless to change my circumstances, and it wasn't true. I was living a lie. Dick Vardo, Iron Man Barrow, welcome to PEINTEINGU. It's gonna be fucking the two lightning things. That's hilarious. Yeah. Milk was a bad choice. I love that. Oh, milk was a bad choice. I fucking love that. It's so funny. Did they perform Buck Dick? I'm not sure. They did do Host, Firefly, Sunna, Ich will or Ich schnell. They did some of the proper banger classics like that I know of, like, you know, like I can't remember the last time I fucking listened to Rammstein, like, do you know what I mean? Like they're very mainstream. Do you know what I mean? Like I always heard like Germany hates them, like, you know, like you go to Germany and like, oh yeah, Rammstein, yeah, and they're like, ugh, they are an embarrassment. You know, like that's what I've heard anyway. Who would have thought Boot Boys would be so Jewy? I know, like it's like, man, the timeline, the realm we're all experiencing right now, the timeline we're experiencing is incredibly frustrating if you don't have the capacity to see it for, like, I don't know, I was about to see it for what it is, but that implies that, like, I know what it is. If you don't have the capacity to how do I word this? This is an interesting one. Because I'm trying to articulate, like, actually what it is that, like, provides people like us with this, like, seemingly, you know, like this connection that we have in the bear community, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I regularly talk to fucking, like, Demon Hunter, fucking Iron Man Bear, fucking like loads of them on fucking Instagram and stuff, like, where I'd be like sending funny shit to each other and texting and stuff like that, like, you know, they came over me for my birthday back in November and stuff. Like, it's like this very organic, very like a rapid growth of a relationship, and like it's born out of like trust and, like, you know, relating on certain things and stuff, like, and like we're now in a situation where, like, we're kind of detached from that mindset, like, that most other people, like, you know, we're now like on the outside looking in a lot of ways. Like, we're still using the system, like, all sort, like, I'm on the internet, blah blah, I went to the shop, I went to a fucking Rammstein gig, like, do you know what I mean? I'm doing a lot of still very, like, normie things, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, but the mindset and the viewpoint, like, where I'm, like, standing, I suppose, like, mentally and spiritually or whatever, and, like, witnessing shit, like, my aperture. What was that fucker called? What was that Lucifer nigga called? I can't remember what that chap was called. The kid, your aperture, open your mind, fucking, what was that fucker called? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, Gloria Skipple. We are kind of, like, outside looking in. I feel like that a lot. Like, I feel like I feel like I'm witnessing Babylon, you know. Whereas, like, I used to be in Babylon. Now I'm, like, outside Babylon, looking back at Babylon, being like, you know, like, and I'm still interacting with Babylon and using Babylon aspects of it, like, you know. But it is genuinely, like, it's weird. It's like that scene in the Matrix where, like, they're, like, walking around and that's in the training program, and Morpheus just freezes it. He's like, we're looking at the woman in the red dress. And then he's like turns around and it's like fucking Smith pointing a fucking Desert Eagle at his face, like. Sneeko spoke about this actually recently, and like I agreed with him, where, like, I actually did, like, feel like that at Rammstein a bit. Not in a negative way, not in a, like, oh, I don't want to be here. Like, I did enjoy it, and it was really cool. It was a spectacle, and everybody was very nice. Like, the people who were there, is like, you know, a lot of, like, really happy, smiling, symmetrical faces. Like, you know, beautiful people. Like, you know, having a good time and just enjoying some, like, du hast mich. Like, you know, it's good crack. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, some performance. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't deny the skill and the showmanship and the effort, do you know what I mean, put into something like that, like. But like I said at the start of the stream, it fucking, like, there was a moment where I was looking at it, I was like, oh my, like, they do these smoke plume things where, like, it literally blots out the sun for a minute and everybody was like, it really fucking annoys me how you just, like, everybody has their phones out. Everybody has their phones out. Like, every second fucking person has their fucking phone out and is just waving their phone around. Like it's bad enough that people's heads are, like, in your way and shit, you know? And, like, I'm fairly tall, you know? Like, when you see someone who's, like, 6'1", 6'3", like, they're significantly tall. Like, you know, they're, like, here. Like, you know, they're a little bit taller than me. It's like, okay, that guy's, like, tall. But, like, most people are, like, here on me. Do you know what I mean? They're like 2 or 3 inches lower than me or some shit. Like, I get in people's way and I'm only like 5'11". Like I literally got in like 2 people's way and I was like, are you serious? Like, fucking, you can't see over my ass. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how fucking small are you? Like, and like, everyone's just got their phones out as well. It just adds to this, like, you know, it's crazy. Like, you're there looking at all these tiny screens that have these small little perspectives on this spectacle that's happening in front of them. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's because people, like, I think it's I don't know what's a subconscious thing, but it's like this need to see the stage and to see what's actually happening. And like, I kind of get that, but like, I was just kind of standing there, like, you know, absorbing, you know, what I could see, like, and I swear to God, man, at points it felt like I was an orc in Mordor. You know what I mean? Like, it was just fucking smoke and confetti everywhere, and like the smell. I kind of like the smell. I think I'd like the smell of hell. Like, you know, smoke and brimstone and petrol, like shit burning. Like I've said this before. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like the little guy that comes up when somebody donates to the stream. The little fucking demon and like holding the halo. Like, fucking, you can see him on the fucking. Hold on, I move the canvas out of the way. This little guy, Hugh. I call him Hugh the Home. Like, you know, home shoot for short for human. Do you know what I mean? And like, I call him Hugh because of like the hue of man and shit like that. That like Black Law's dictionary shit. Like, hue man. You know, you're not a man, you're a hue man. You're the hue of man, the color of man, all that fucking shit. Like, I find all that esoteric like language shit fascinating. Like, but like a cheeky little fucking, you know, brightly colored little diminutive demon dude holding a halo on a string, and like. The whole idea behind him is like, you know, like he found a halo and was like, oh, I like the idea of being good. I'm gonna try to be good, like, you know, like, and I see like this weird. I kind of see that thing in like, you know, that dude that Owen is talking about a lot recently. Was it Matt Cox, the like former like criminal who spent like a decade in jail or some shit? Like, was he like a financial criminal or some shit, like, or drug dealer or something like? Like, proper, like, career, like, criminal who's, like, good at it, like, till he got caught, like, you know, like, and he's got a fucking successful, like, you know, stream and all. It's so funny, like, I can, like, it's totally understandable why Owen gets so fucking, like, imagine the frustration of being in Owen's position where it's like, that nigga can have a fucking Patreon account? Are you fucking serious? The blatant hypocrisy of that shit, like, it's so understandable. That's why I love and support Owen, like, because it's like he's so right. Like, it's such bullshit. The fucking blatant hypocrisy of like modern society right now is just so. It's like frustrating on an epic level. Like, it's frustrating on a biblical level, you know. And I have none of the fucking daily stresses that somebody like Owen has, like, do you know what I mean? And I can relate. I'm sure you guys can too, like, where it's like you're just like the fucking nigh on, like, at times unbearable frustration of the hypocrisy, the contradictions, the clear deceptions, the lying, the relentless lying, the doubling down, the tripling down, the quadrupling down, like, you know, it's just. It's like I was saying earlier on in the stream, like, there's certain energy forms that aren't like fun to like play with, and because you can like fight and compete and like hate each other a little bit, like, you know, well, maybe not hate each other a little bit, but like have some slight, like, you know, resentment towards like your opponent, but like still have respect and shit, like, you know, and that makes interactions like valuable and productive and, like, you know, generally like win-win. Like even if somebody loses, they probably learn something. Like, do you know what I mean? But there are certain energy forms that you interact with that it's just like lose-lose. It's just lose-lose. Like they're actually not gaining anything other than typically like furthering their own destruction. Like how fucking dark and fucked up is that? Like, do you know what I mean? Like if you're like the demons that are like, I serve my lord, you know, and they're really into being like fucked up and shit, like are only like furthering how fucked up their end is going to be, or how fucked up their, do you know what I mean? And I know like when you're talking like biblical demons, like they actually get off on it, like because they are that energy form. I'm more talking about like people who like, you know, behave demonically, because there's a part of them is still human, so that results in just like these empty vessel people who are like, you know, have gone so far down the line that they can't feel anything anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, because like we're not like, I think we were created by someone or something, in quotes, good, with a good and benevolent like purpose in mind, like something along the lines of shepherds or caretakers of the realm or some shit, like, you know. And I think just like a series of unfortunate events over the past hundreds or thousands of years or whatever has just resulted in, you know, an utter catastrophe and a complete reversal, like a fucking tragically ironic reversal of like, instead of us having dominion over this realm in a positive and productive manner, we have dominion over this realm in a sense, to a point, in a really destructive and parasitic manner. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's not like we actually have dominion over the realm. You know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, even the grand manipulators, even the controllers in quotes, would just be like thinking like the reason they're arrogant is because they genuinely have a god complex and genuinely think that they can like fix this place, or it's their like duty to like, you know, like maybe it is, like that's kind of funny actually when you think about it like that. Like maybe if they have it's like some kind of inverted amnesia of your original purpose. It's like you're originally designed to like be a caretaker of this place, but somewhere along the line you turned into the antithesis of that, and you are now like the sterilizer of this place, you know. Everything needs to be the same, everything needs to be one mind, one purpose, you know, uniform, like no competition, no, like they just want a fucking a lab, or like, you know, a fucking like clinic, like, do you know what I mean? Like I always get that sense from like the fucking one world order, where like if they actually had it the way they wanted it, it would just be like barren. Do you know what I mean? Like all the shit they talk, but their reality, if they actually got things to be their way, like completely, like it would just be this like barren wasteland. Like it's so sad. Like they don't understand that the sacred idols must be smashed in order to progress. Like, yeah, like on a fundamental level, like think about that, where like if you idolize something, you know, like call it an idol, like sure, whatever, it's a word, but like like basically you're making it your god, you know. You're making it your god, like, which is crazy, because the whole idea of a god is like a fucking omnipotent creator of like matter and like fate and all this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? No matter what religion you're talking about, the gods are the fucking gods, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like like it's just there's a fundamental disconnect there, I find, where like these people are like, they really do, like, yeah, like the Bible's so right in so many ways. There's so much truth in the Bible that they're like, you know, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Like, it's crazy. Boot Boy Week has been building for a long while now. Time has come for a wiener roast. Definitely. Could be worse, Defender. We could be living in a place where they brush their teeth with cow poo. Yeah, I suppose I get that shit. I mean, like, fucking, don't get me wrong, yeah, that's pretty fucking wild, but like, I'm like, if you think fucking Owen's, like, you know, a bit autistic when it comes to truth, I can see where they're coming from, cause like certain forms of manure, like look at what you call it, what's it, batshit.
Only the
batshit is like used for to make like pottery and all sorts of stuff, like and I was like, it's like clay, and like I don't know the ins and outs of it, like if it is like parasitic to fucking, like I'm sure they heat treat it to make it solid or something. I don't fucking know. Is it just air dry? There's like, I could see, you know, like people drink their own piss and like, you know, talk about all the health benefits and shit, like, do you know what I mean? And like I look at somebody like Chris Gardner and I'm like, he seems like the type to just be experimental and purely logical. So like, and I'm kind of like that. Now, I've never drank my own piss. I've never like, but I've thought about it. I've thought about it sometimes, just being like, fuck it, why don't I just try it and see what happens? Like, cause then I'll know. Like, that's how I am. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, well, do I actually know? Well, fucking find out then. Do you know what I mean? Like, what happens if, like, I'm not saying, you know, take a shit and then brush your teeth with your own shit. That's fucking rancid, like. But what if you have an animal that when it's on a particular diet of, like, the one thing, like, they only eat one thing, grass, you know? So what does that particular manure actually contain? Is it just, like, you know, a mix of, like, carbon and, like, fucking, you know, it's, like, off-gassing stuff? So, like, sure, it smells, you know, bad or whatever. Like, some manure can smell real good. Like, you know, like, fucking petrol and shit. Like, there's certain smells that were, like, if they're real strong, you're like, whoa, that's a fine stink. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, I know, like, there is a part of me that's like, eh, you know, but there's a part of me that's also like, well, what if there's truth to it? Because there's all sorts of things to do with, like, every bodily fluid, fucking everything from semen to feces to urine to fucking earwax to fucking mucus to saliva to, like saliva has healing properties in a sense, like, do you know what I mean? But, like, you know, you don't want to be doing that shit if, like, you're not, like, if you're completely healthy. Like, I wouldn't want to be using my saliva for certain things because, like, I'm missing teeth and I still have some, like, you know, not actively rotting anymore because I've sorted it out, but, like, I still have, like, teeth missing and certain, like, probably not good bacteria, like, in my mouth and stuff like that, so that wouldn't be good for me to do. But, like, if you had someone who's, like, totally, like, clean in a biological sense, do you know what I mean? Like, they're very healthy. Well, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, you know, your saliva and your piss and your shit and your fucking, like, all this stuff, like, actually has, like, very productive uses, both, like, in, like, socially and in, like, agriculturally and stuff like that. Like, remember fucking years ago, fucking Owen turned around, he was like, I pissed all around my farm. Like, you put, like, that's so true. Like, you put your scent all around the perimeter of your farm, like, do you know what I mean? And, like, animals that operate on scent will go, like, oh my god, there's, like, a huge human here, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, that's how this place works. And it's only when humans do the whole, like, emotional interpretation of, like, how it makes us feel and shit, where we're like, that's icky. But it's like, sure, but, like look at someone like Tom Barnett, like that dude's, like, you know, a higher level than me, where he actually did stuff like, you know, got other people's mucus and, like, inserted it into himself to see if he could get the disease that they had. Cause, like that's science, do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, so if your virus transfer theory is correct, I should be able to take this sick person and make myself sick, you know, and, like, he didn't get sick, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's fascinating to me, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like I'd well believe it that like a more in certain ways a more primitive in quotes lifestyle is actually more healthy, you know. Now I'm not talking about shit where like you see them fucking bathing in the Ganges and stuff like that. Like I'm like there is stuff that's like, oh my god, that's just foul. But then there's other stuff that's like, okay, if like one, if done correctly, and if two, if you actually know what you're doing, and like or if you put it through some sort of like filtering process or some shit. Like, you remember that bit in Waterworld where like he pisses in a fucking pump filter on his boat thing? You call it a boat, it's but like a skiff, or so. It's like a fucking, it's like a wind rider fucking net yoke. It's cool looking, like. But he like pisses in like a fucking pump, a hand pump filter thing, and like fills up like this much of it with like piss, and then just like hand pumps this filter thing and gets like half of that in like drinkable water, you know. And that was back in what, like early 90s? When did Waterworld come out? 90s, 80s? You know, Waterworld's an old one, like all the Kevin Costner movies, like Bodyguard and Postman and stuff. Like, they're fucking deadly movies. Like, there's truth in that shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like fucking Death Stranding, the video game, had stuff in that where like every time you came back from an adventure, you'd take your suit off and you'd get into this like biochemical shower scanner thing. And it was like a combination of a toilet, a shower, a body scanner, and like a fucking biological fluid recycling center where like you go in, you have a shower, and like all the fluid, all the sweat and all the grime and stuff that like comes off you in the shower gets like morphed into, like, you know, transformed into something. All the fucking piss and shit that comes out of you gets morphed into something. You end up using your blood and like urine and feces as deterrents for the animals in the area, because you can change, like, you know, you can change the biological material into like other shit and all, like just by using alchemy and stuff. Like, it's fascinating, like, you know. Like, I'm not gonna say, like, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and be like, yeah, like, oh, that stuff's not like disgusting. There's loads of it that's like, what the fuck, like. But it's still fascinating to me, because if it still serves like some kind of like purpose, or has some kind of like good outcome, like, you know. I mean, one of the worst aspects of our species at the moment, anyway, is the unbelievable amount of waste we produce. You know, like, I'm not one of those like hippy dippy save the earth people, but you can't argue with, like, when you see runoffs from, you know, huge corporate buildings or factories, or a load of fish dying, or like fucking polluted shit. Like, we do pollute and fucking mine and blow up and like destroy like a shitload of stuff all around the realm all the time, you know. Like, there's no denying that, like, you know. But then, like, the reality is that, like, how long have we been doing stuff like that, and the earth still provides. Mother Earth still provides, you know. So all of this notion of like false scale, oh, we're gonna run out of oil, oh, we're gonna run out of gold, we're gonna, like, it's run all the gold veins, all the silver veins, like, it's like there's only so much of this stuff. It's like, no, they always find more. Isn't that freaky? Isn't that kind of freaky? Like, there's just always more, you know. And then you have like rumors of like fucking large groups of animals just like seemingly loading into existence in places, like a lot of fish falling out of the sky, or a lot of fucking frogs showing up somewhere, or a lot of eels showing up out of nowhere, or a lot of fucking birds showing up out of nowhere, like, and people are just like, what the fuck, where did they come from? Man, there's some freaky shit out there, you know what I mean? There's a reason the mainstream is so fucking guarded, like, you know, and it's not because, like, it's not because Godzilla's real, or the Loch Ness Monster's real and they lied about it, or some shit, like, do you know what I mean? There is freaky shit out there. There's freaky shit you can't explain, that we don't know enough about. No, there's shit that nobody knows, and there's whole markets built around like arguing like about theories. It's fucking stupid, like, do you know what I mean? The arrogance and fucking malevolence of these people to like make a profit off of lying, like, is fucking, like, I get that, like, you know, like I've said before, I completely agree when Owen says it's like you can't just kill them. That's not how this shit works, like, you know. It's not like we're actually talking about demons from a hellgate that we need to slay, like, do you know what I mean? We're talking about other people, you know, like, and like, life is sacred, you know. So like, you can't just like despite how I feel, you know, when you see somebody like rape a kid or something, you're like, kill that nigga. It's like, is that the right thing to do? I mean, your primitive side says yes, but then when you logic it out, it's like, is killing him's not going to unrape the child. Killing him's not going to, like, it may immediately alleviate people's stress levels because it's like, okay, he's gone, we don't have to worry about him. But like, wouldn't a greater form of punishment and a more useful thing to do to be like, put him to use in some kind of regard, you know? Which, like, in a sense they do in prison, you know, like, make the nigga fucking work on a production line for the rest of his life, like. But I would argue, you know, he's allowed to have a life then. That's like some kind of semblance of like humanity where he still has like there's fucking pedophile lunatic creeps in prisons that, like, you know, have friends and like stick together. Like, man, there's fucking bitches that like write love letters to serial killers. Do you know what I mean? That fucking that cunt out of that band, oh, what are they called? The Lost Prophets. Where there's like, there was women offering up their fucking newborn babies, like toddlers, to this chap so they could like fucking rape them like ritualistically and shit and all, like, do you know what I mean? So like, the notion of like, you know, how could a woman do that to her? How could a mother do that to the child? Man, it works both ways. You have dudes who are fucking off the wall insane, and you have bitches that are fucking off the wall insane. You know? And the people in power, supposedly, the people running all this shit, are no different than you and I. In most ways, you know? They are just human beings with wants and desires and traumas and like thoughts and shit. Like, they're like, we call certain people like vacant, like, and like, you know, they're NPCs or whatever, but they're not really. There's a human in there somewhere, you know. There's a spark in there somewhere. The spark's not gone, it's just not shining. It's been dulled, you know, like a blade. It's just been like mistreated, you know. You don't create a blade to mistreat it. It's a tool. You create a tool for a purpose. You should mind your tools. You should take great care of your tools and take pride in them. Look at me and my bitches, you know. I've recently gotten more bitches. I now have a really tall bitch. You know, I keep my bitches clean. I beat them regularly, you know. Keeps them fluffy, you know. You need to, otherwise they get stiff. It's like, it's fascinating, but it's also depressing. You know, there is a truth to that. That's why you have all these fucking like black pillars and shit, like. But I refuse to be like that. You know, I may sound like that sometimes when I'm like coldly analyzing fucking life or some shit, but like, I never actually feel like that. What I'm actually feeling is like a profound sense of melancholy because I love this place so much, and like, it hurts me to see other people disrespect life, you know, because I think life is beautiful. I think it's the most beautiful thing. We like life itself. Like, you could pick all the like all these individual aspects of life and the things in life and the things, you know, that comprise life and stuff like that. But it's life. It's life is the most beautiful thing. The fact that you're alive. The fact that you can think, breathe, look at things. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. The like existence itself is a fundamental like phenomenon that we still haven't figured out for the most part, like, or at least that we know of anyway. Like, there's probably a few people, you know, in the know of like what this fucking is and how it works and shit, like. But like, that's what gives me a profound sense of like, that's why I get so angry, that's why I get so frustrated, that's why I get so sad and depressed and stuff, is seeing other people disrespect the realm and the things in it, when you can blatantly just take 5 minutes and realize how incredibly beautiful this place is. every time I see a little bird in the garden, I'm like, that's so cool. Like, do you know what I mean? Look at them bounce around. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, fucking, they literally operate in a totally different, like, dimension to us. Like, do you know what I mean? Gravity doesn't work the same as them. Like, they're way lighter. They're like fucking, like, you can literally like those little birds you see in your garden, little brown things, like stuff like robins and all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if one of them like was in the palm of your hand, you could literally just like crush it. It'd be so it's like killing a fly, you know? Like, everybody smushes bugs. Like, we disrespect life on a fundamental level in so many ways, and we just take it for granted, you know? And I'm not saying I don't do that. I'm not walking around fucking like, you know, not swatting flies and shit, like. And I've said before on the stream, like, you know, I've said it for years in life, not just on the stream, that like I'd love to, I could shoot a deer, I could hunt a deer, I'd love to go hunt a deer, but I don't know if I could shoot a rabbit. I like bunny rabbits, you know, like. Like, I probably could, like, you know, like, man, you're hungry, you'd fucking shoot anything. Like, some people would shoot anything, some people would shoot you, like, do you know what I mean? If they were that hungry, like. I don't think I could eat another person. You know? I don't think I'd like, even if shit, like, really hit the fan, and people started, like, killing and eating each other, because, like, it was just, like, this desolate, like, radioactive wasteland where nothing was growing, and, like, meat and water and, like, you know, all this stuff was, like, really scarce and shit, and there was, like, loads of people who go cannibal and stuff. Like, I don't think I could do that. I think I'd rather eat, like, you know, fucking synthetic porridge. You know, I'd be like Dozer out of fucking I'd be like Dozer out of the Matrix, where I'd be like, it's got everything the body needs, you know. It's like, this is a bowl of snot. It's like, it's got everything the body needs, you know, like, cause I'm not eating you, nigga. Like, it's either, like, think about it, it's like, well, it's this, or I cut your head off and eat your heart. You know, like, you know, you take your pick, like, do you know what I mean? Either we eat the bowl of snot, or I rip your heart out of your chest and eat it in front of your wife. And then I'll fucking cut her and twine and eat her over a period of weeks. You know, like, I'll turn your missus into bacon, you know? Eat the fucking snot, nigga. Like, you just be like, okay. Like, don't you ever complain about the ball of snot again. Like, think about how, like, you know, you'd be living in an environment like that, like, you know what I mean? Like, and someone's like, man, I miss chicken. It's like, shut the fuck up, like. It's like, if you close your eyes and think real hard, like, it'll taste like chicken. Like. Oh. Ikville is a solid banger. Yeah, Ikville, Du hast, Sonne. Sonne's a great one. Kommt die Sonne. Eins. Boom. Like, it's fucking. They've loads of. They have. That's why they're so big. They have loads of bangers. They're an anthem band. Like most of their songs are like. Like, it's just like. That's why, like, the whole crowd is just like, yeah. You know, like, that's why they're so successful. Like, they just have that, like, they're like the metal version of, like, you know, fucking One Direction or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're pretty fucking gay. Like, do you know, like, so like, I have to say though, like, as gay as it is in one way, it was also hilarious, and, like, part of me wanted to be that guy. One of the guy on the right, like, so if you're facing the stage, the band member on the right hand side, doing all the synth techno shit and the keyboards, was in full head to toe gold with this, like, fucking he had, like, a headrest thing that was like this, you know, like an Egyptian god or some shit, right? And it was all gold. He's head to toe in gold, right? It's all glittering gold. And he's on a fucking treadmill. I'm not shitting you, like, he was deadly looking. So he's got these, like, keyboards, like, in front of him and to the side of him and shit, like, and he's just constantly walking. I tell you, I remember, like, I saw it, like, in between people's heads. I was like, that's hilarious. Like, all the music is like, you know, like, boo, doo, doo, dum, 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 you know, like, and he's just like, constantly walking to the beat of the music while dressed as like a golden god. Like, that's the shit I love. Like, I love, like, you know, over the top artistic stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? But then you get the over the top artistic stuff that's like perverted, like, you know, like the fashion industry or some shit. Like, you have all these ghouls walking around in mud with floodlights and shit. Like, like, buy Gucci. Like, do you guys not even know what I'm on about? That went viral a while ago. I think it was like a year or two ago, when it was like this fashion show, and it was in like, it looked like it was in like a fucking dirt bike arena that had been rained on, and they were all like painted all ghoulishly, and they were all like hunched over and like long black leather and shit. Like, and I couldn't stop laughing when I seen. Oh my god, high fashion is so retarded. Like, high fashion should be like, fuck you and your bank, you goddamn. I forgot about this. I fucking, this is hilarious. Fucking, what's this 8-bit Russian shit like? Oh, God bless you, Demon Hunter Bear. Like, me, Demon Hunter Bear and me literally have the same, like, sense of humor, like, and we're both into metal. So, like, the shit we sent each other is fucking hilarious. I love this. Like, the fuck. Oh, I love it. I fucking love it. Right, well, I'll stick some raving goo on and I'll paint for a bit. Oh, fuck. Fucking knackered, lads. Seriously. I have a commission that I'm doing at the moment for one of the Irish bears. And it's after taking me ages because I've just had other shit going on between. It's like 2 funny looking sunflowers. And I'm nearly finished it and all, like. But I've had so much in my mind. But, like, I haven't done the turtles and all this fucking shit. Like, and then I've stuff like that where, like, I know when stuff comes up, like, part of me kind of was like, Rammstein on a Sunday? No, I've work to do and, you know, like, blah, blah. But, like, you don't want to be, like, a fucking curmudgeon, like, especially when you're still fucking 30. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Links 234 even? Is Links 234, is that a Rammstein song, is it? I only know a handful of them, like. Oh, no way! I didn't know you had that race, like, already. Fucking, I seen that the other day on Instagram. You came third in your age group. Fucking fair play, man. Fucking Iron Man Bear crushing it. Everybody give Iron Man Bear some love. He's a fucking absolute, like, fitness animal. Those Iron Man things are no joke. Those things are brutal. Those things are fucking brutal, like. I get what you mean, Defender. Most people just can't be in the moment and experience something. They have the need to take an image of every experience and find it viscerally. I find it viscerally annoying. It's so fucking annoying. It ruins the immersion. It's like in a video game where the immersion, when the immersion gets ruined in a video game, you're like, oh, you know, or the immersion in a movie. Your suspension of disbelief gets like broken, and you're like, oh, this is shit. It's like that, like you're experiencing this thing, and you're like, oh, this is fucking wild. This is cool. Like, and then the music comes on, you're like, yeah. And then everybody's hands come up with these black squares, and you're just like, what the fuck, people? Like, like, and like people complain about it all the time. You see posts all the time of like something really epic happening, and then you see a lot of people just like on their phone, like, and a lot of the time it's like this. A lot of the time it's like this, where there's people in the vicinity of something epic happening, and they're like this, so you can't even see their face. They're witnessing an epic moment in real life through their phone in the moment, right? Like, I can understand some people, you know, been doing that since the fucking 80s, 90s. You know, somebody standing, like the dad at a birthday party, standing there with a fucking camcorder, and you'd have one eye in it, You know, oh, cut the cake and all that fucking shit. Like, that's not the same. Like, he's still there. Do you know what I mean? He's still like letting go of the camera every 5 fucking seconds, being like, oh, do this and shit. Like, they go back to the camera. Like, there's literally people who just do this, or like this, or they're like, there is lots of people who just do this shit, or like, you know, have the phone out, or they just do this and they start recording. Like, I don't necessarily mind that. If you just have the phone out and you're just like letting it, like, you're like letting it record the moment, but you're still in the moment. But then later you can, like, you know, look back at your phone and be like, oh yeah, I got a cool angle of that or some shit, like, do you know? But it's these people who literally, like, fucking, they're literally watching the gig on their phone at the gig. like what the fuck? Like, it's so fucking stupid. Like, it's so like, Flake on stage with his keyboard is a show of his own. It is, isn't it? Like, I'd watch that nigga all day. Just the dude strolling in this fucking amazing costume with all the synth keyboard shit. Like, it's fucking hilarious. It's absolutely brilliant. Like, and I don't know how the fuck they handle it on the man. The heat. We were like I was saying earlier on, we were like easily, like, I think we were like 200-300 feet away from the fucking stage, even, like, do you know what I mean? Maybe I wasn't that far, but like, the fucking flamethrowers would go off and he'd be like, oh, I felt that, like, do you know what I mean? So imagine how they feel. Like, fucking pouring sweat. You're like playing music and singing and walking around the stage and all, and this fucking massive flame, like 3 of them just, and you're like, what the fuck? It's deadly looking, like, do you know what I mean? Legit look like you're in like a modern, like a early 2000s industrial version of Mordor. Like, even the tower in the middle and all, like the way they came in was epic. They came down this tower, like, it was like the opposite of like an astronaut thing. They started off the top of this thing, like, uncovered them, and then there was like an entrance music and they were like coming down onto the stage. It was brilliant. Like, their showmanship and stage presence is like fucking S tier, like, do you know what I mean? It's AAA, like, it's 10 out of 10, like, but it's just like, you know, fucking, I'm not like a massive Rammstein fan, and like, it was on a Sunday and I was already tired, wasn't a mood. My fucking back is killing me just standing there in the pit. I was like, oh fuck this, I'm gonna get a burger, like. Oh, like, I probably would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't have gone in until the second half kind of thing, because that's when they played all the bangers. I was sitting there eating a burger and I was like, can't believe I paid $13.50 for this fucking thing, but it's actually alright, it's pretty delicious. And like, I was talking to some dude, like, and just like sitting at the bench, and they fucking, I could hear them, like, they played Du Hast, Sonne, Ich Will, and Firefly, and like, Firefly is like my favourite song by them, like, but there was no way I was fucking arsed, like, getting all the way back in there, like, you know. I was like, fuck that shit, like, I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and eat my burger. I was at a Sade concert. Is that a typo? They call Shade or some shit? Who's Sade? Is it Sade or Sade? You were at a concert and some twat came in and talked on his phone in front of us. I told him to shut it off and be quiet, so he walked out. Can't stand those people that can't be in the moment. I know, it does me head in. Does me fucking head in, man. Oh, glorious Gepu. Sorry, I just have to check my phone there. Oh my god. Right. Right, I will arm the mouse. That's what I'll do. Let's get my bitches wet. Go with, yeah, we'll go with this one. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo. Goo goo goo. Googity goo goo. Right, hold on a minute. Can this, like... 2 seconds. The fucking mic. It's not painting. Oh, okay, I see how it works. Painting. Is there another one of those? Oh. Painting. That's completely round though. Okay. And the mic's just going to be in the way for a second. Oh God! In reframing everything, try in an attempt to get the painting more up close and personal. I'm quite like enclosed again, and the mic is not exactly stable in that position. Should be all right there. I'm still getting picked up, yeah. I'm still getting picked up. I'm not quite sure what the rate, like... Do I have to be all the way back here? Yeah, you can still hear me there, like, grand thing. Okay. Let us arm this mouse. The first thing I thought of earlier on was like a big dirty, like, fucking, what are those things, like ME40 or some shit, or like, not the saw, but like something like that, like not an M60, but something like an M40, something like a, what are those things called, just a chunky LMG, like, but like not like a fucking I remember the M60 in like most games it was in, was just this like totally overpowered, cumbersome thing that like most of the time you're just like, oh fuck this yoke. Okay. I may as well just do it in black. What is this? What are you branding? How do you brand something on my stream without my... Be gone from here. Yeah, Sade. Was it like a fucking small kind of like one of those like intimate, like musicians where there's like 50 people in a cafe and the lights are off and there's just a light on him and he's playing guitar real soulfully or some shit, yeah? And some like asshole was on his phone. The band Great White burned a place down with their pyrotechnics because it was too small. Imagine. Like, fuck yeah! Oh shit! It's like...
We sit in the sun, in maze, we sleep.
That'd be fucking mental.
And we dream. Each of us dying slowly, the prison of our minds.
Oh, glorious Kepo.
We sit in the sun, in maze, we sleep. And we dream. Each of us dying slowly, the prison of our minds.
consume us all.
What was like? It was an M60, wasn't it? It's like there was like a what's the Rambo thing? Like that was like a trope in movies for ages. Like the atypical, like the cliche action hero one-handing a big machine gun. It was always a Saw or an M60, wasn't it? It was always like the model of the LMG in question.
I demand to know what's going on in my house.
Consume us all.
That's good enough. Looks like a machine gun. That's why I put the big fucking ammo pack here. Fucking playing Doom Eternal lately again, and oh my god, jeez, so fucking satisfying to just sit down for a while, put the headphones on, and just lose yourself in that game. The assault rifle in Doom Eternal is like hands down the most satisfying assault rifle to use in like modern gaming. Like through all like any video game, I've played a lot of video games, and the fucking assault rifle in Doom Eternal, like it's just, like it's not an assault rifle. Do you know what I mean? It's an assault rifle for this nigga, but like realistically, it's like a 50 cal turret in assault rifle form. Like thing fires explosive rounds, has like, an endless clip, and like it's just like like it fucking. I love the way it, like the sound of it like alters slightly depending on what environment you're in. Like if it's like really echoey or outside or some shit, like I fucking love that shit. Like, oh, they don't really change it that much in Doom, actually, do they? The weapons sound fundamentally the same in most places. Fucking Doom Eternal is just like, it's one of the, like, whatever about like one of the best shooters. Like personally, I think Doom Eternal should have an online multiplayer that's just like 8 Slayers on 8 Slayers, kind of like Halo. I think it'd be great, or Quake, or whatever. Like, I don't really like the whole fucking dueling thing where it's like 1 on 2 or 2 on 1, and some of these are monsters and some of these are Slayers. It's like, whatever. But it's like such a good fucking shooter. Like, it's so satisfying. Like the music, the enemies, the environment, like everything is so fucking. Incredibly entertaining, like really fucking entertaining. So cathartic as well, because it's one of those, like I got onto Doom Eternal like fucking, I don't know, maybe a week ago now or something. Like I can't remember when I downloaded it exactly. I've played it before and I've finished it on, like, I'm pretty sure I finished it on Nightmare. I might have just finished it on Ultraviolence, but like I'm fairly sure I finished it on Nightmare. And I finished it on Nightmare on, like, I did the DLC, did everything, like Ancient Gods 1 and 2 and all, like, thoroughly enjoyed it. Really fucking good, like. But when I picked it back up there the other day, I was like, oh my god, I'm so trash at Doom. I can't play Doom anymore. I'm so shit at Doom. What the fuck? But within like a few hours, I was like, oh yeah, I'm back, baby. Like, it's so... What do they call it? The Doom dance? Like, the way they've made it, like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, don't stop moving. And just like, there's like certain combinations of the weapons and stuff. Like, you know, there's no reloading in Doom. You just switch weapon. I fucking love it. Like, you're always picking up ammo and health, and like the way it works is like you get ammo and health and armor off of the enemies. Like, you get off the environment as well, but you get off the enemies. So like, there's all sorts of cool combo shit you can do. Like, freeze them and then blast them with a shotgun, and a lot of health comes out. And burn them with the flamethrower, and then fucking saw them in half. A lot of armor and health, fucking armor and ammo come out of them and shit. Like, there's some sick shit you can do in that game. Like, really fucking cool. Like, it's just it's incredibly cathartic, like, you know. And I think it's funny that, like, you know, Sleep Deprived Bear like fucking loves Doom and all, like, and he's like devout Catholic and all. He's like, he's like a proper nerd, like, do you know what I mean? And he's like Catholic and shit. He just loves slaying demons on Doom. Like, I fucking love it. I just think that's so funny. Like, it's so fucking relaxing. Like, it can be stressful when you're doing it on harder difficulties like any other game, like, but you know, when you get good at it and you're in the flow and you're doing shit and all, like, oh, it's so satisfying. So fucking satisfying. The combination of the music and the time, like, sometimes you'll like pull off a really nice mix up of, you know, like a setup of like freezing 3 enemies and then like flamethrowing them, then throwing a grenade and then to the left and then shooting a rocket launcher or some shit like that. Right as the music like hits, the rocket like hits all 3 of them and they all blow up like epically in chunks of gore and ice and shit, and there's like health and armor things going all over the place. It's like a piñata, like, you know. And I just like, you're just sitting there with the headphones on, like, totally. It creates this like tunnel vision thing, you know, of like, that's what I think a game should do. This, like, whether you got headphones on or not, but what a game should do is just like suck you in completely and lock you in and make you feel like you're actually doing that shit. Like, you're that guy on the screen moving around, like third person or first person. Like, there's so many games that don't do that. They're still kind of entertaining and fun, but they don't give you that, like, you know, you are doing these things feeling. And Doom Eternal gives you that, like, because it's all to do with you. It's all button presses, it's all movement, it's all being good at aiming, it's all like, it's all strategy, it's all like picking a direction and moving in it and fucking being aware of like all the shit. Like, there's so many games out there where you can just kind of brain, like Call of Duty's like a brain dead shooter, you know, which is unfortunate because it wasn't always like that. Call of Duty was like the OG, you know. No, it was in an arena. Been dozens of concerts over the years. Hers was the best live show I've ever seen. Class act all the way. This Sade bitch, I'll have to check her out. Sade has been around for a long time. Quality musicians. The fan base is huge. Yeah, like Rammstein's fan base is fucking gas, man. You know, just like listening to all these Germans and stuff. Like, oh, it's so funny. Like, it's a good vibe. A little bit gay. You know, like the whole leather and spanking and shit, like, it's like M60 machine gun is what you're thinking of, yeah? Or the M249 saw, yeah, that one. But I'm thinking of the shape, not the size, cause like phrasing. Like, the M60's like, you know, got a huge barrel and like, you know, a huge ammo box, whereas like something like the fucking, can you guys hear that? Is that coming through on the mic? They're doing like, they're smashing the road apart outside. The saw is like much more compact. The saw is actually like what I would consider to be like a huge assault rifle, because like the saw's quite manageable for one dude. Like, that's it. It was built to be that way. And the main reason it's so dangerous is its high rate of fire. I think it fires the 7.6. Correct me if I'm wrong, Demon Hunter. There's an M249 saw fired at 7.62 millimeter, like an AK. Isn't that why the AK is like, you know, considered to be like a beefy assault rifle, because it actually fires a light machine gun round, but it's an assault rifle. Like 7.62mm is like large. Like it's a fairly big round. Like, you know what I mean? Like one of them would kill your ass. Like, and a fucking saw can like rip them out real quick. Like the saw's like rate of fire is like, you know, like M60 is like chug 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 chug, like, you know, an M60 would be like, whereas a saw is like, it's kind of like a massive Uzi, like they're ridiculous. I'd say that's why they called it the, like, nicknamed it the saw or whatever, because it literally just buzz cuts through shit. Like, oh, that actually makes sense, because the 5.56 is like high penetration and shit, and it's a lighter round. That actually makes lots of sense. So that's why the fire rate can afford, that's why the rate of fire can afford to be that high without you like totally losing control of the gun. That makes a lot of sense. Because like, didn't they complain about the 5.56 being too high pen? Like it's the high penetrate, it's like too effective at penetrating the target, and it's not big enough to maintain stopping power. So like they had like stories of soldiers would like spray a guy and the guy like wouldn't react because the bullets were having like they were traveling at such a high speed and had such high penetrating power that they just cut through dudes and they wouldn't even know that they'd been shot yet. They'd like die from like bleeding out and shit unless you caught them in a vital place that like put them down. Whereas like something like a 45 or a 7.62 or a 9mm, you know, they're like chunkier and shit, like, you know, and they move slower, so they have more stopping power. So when they hit you, they hit you. Whereas like a 5.56 like had this like reputation of just like going through people, and they didn't even realize they'd been shot. Like, do you imagine that? Like, you fucking like, boom, oh, I'm okay, like that was close, and then you put 3 guys down, and then you like start to feel a bit lightheaded or woozy because the adrenaline's wearing off, like, and you're like, hold on a minute, like, why do I feel wet? And you like pull your armor open, you got like 3 holes in you, and they're like this big, and the exit wounds are like almost the same size as the entry wounds. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't have this big hole out your back, you just have these like little like these Swiss cheese fucking things in you, like. Oh man, war is horrible. Like, war is fucking horrible. Like, all those stories of like dudes just like taking cover from a sniper, and then one of your mates just fucking gets his head blown off, and that's it. He's gone, dead. You're never gonna talk to him again. But you have to spend the next fucking couple of hours sitting there looking at his dead corpse. Dude just sitting there with his eyes open and a hole in his head. Like, you were playing poker with him last night and like talking about how he can't wait to get home to his missus because she was pregnant when he left, you know, and then like now he's just dead. Like, like it, no fucking like, like that's the thing, is like, you know, you want like that's not an honorable death, like, because he didn't get a chance to like fight for his life. Like, do you know what I mean? That's the whole idea of the hunt. You know, in a predatory mindset, where it's like, when you look at Predator, it's like, you know, that is a worthy. Do you know what I mean? That opponent will like not be easy to kill. You have to earn the kill. It's like nature. In nature, you earn the kill. 60% of all Predator attacks, like, don't quote me on that. This is like an average. Everything that like hunts something, sharks, fucking big cats. Like certain lizards, crocodiles, 60% of all of their attempts to kill something fail. Like, they have a really high like fail rate. Paint. Fucking. It's incredibly difficult to kill something generally, you know, with just like teeth and claws. It's the invention of the gun did make it far too easy to kill something, you know. Like, don't get me wrong, if you've got the drop on someone, or if they're unarmed, it's fairly easy to kill someone with a knife, you know. But like, it's still like, it's not as easy as you think. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why people always have like defensive wounds and stuff like that. Like, bone is harder than most people think it is. You know, just because you watch movies or you see stuff where like on screen like somebody's leg breaks and you're like, oh, you know, it's like generally you don't understand the forces involved of like what that actually takes. Unless you're talking like certain contexts of like, you know, leverage. You know, it doesn't take a lot of power to it doesn't take a lot of force to snap somebody's arm when you like have them in an arm lock, you know, or like a shoulder lock. Like you could just like John Jones is like notorious for this allegedly, where like when he was in the clinch with opponents in the UFC, he would like try to jerk in one direction all of a sudden in the clinch to like deliberately like pop your elbow or shoulder out, or like completely tear like tendons and stuff, like, you know. And like guys like Rampage Jackson would give out to him about like kicking the knees and stuff. And I can understand why guys like that complain about that shit, where it's like, dude, like, you know, you're gonna ruin people's careers. Like, you're like this, like you're turning a competitive sport into like a street fight, you know, with like eye gouging and like, you know, fucking grappling stuff that's like gonna permanently damage people, and like kicks that's gonna permanently like just take them out. Do you know what I mean? Like, not even like, you know, hurt them and injure them or whatever, like, or cause them so much pain they can't continue or stuff like that. Like, John Jones would do stuff that's like career ending. Do you know what I mean? Like, but there's a part of me that's like, you know, I completely agree with that. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it is a fight. Like, that's how it's presented, you know, is like as close to a real fight as we can get. I'm just gonna watch these lads throw down, and then you get lads like John Jones that are like, okay, well, I'm gonna kick his knees out, you know, like, and it's like, I mean, can you really complain about that? Like, I mean, it's a totally viable, like, it's totally logical and viable fucking tactic to just be like, boom, you know, well, you're fucked now, your legs fucked, like, you know what I mean? I win, you know, like, same with, like, I mean, like, I always thought it was stupid. It's like, so I can shin kick you in the head, I can kick you full force in the head with my bare shin, but I have to wear gloves. So, like, you look at a dude like Edson Barbosa, where he has that knockout, he has that highlight reel of, he has a spinning heel kick knockout. Or Vitor Belfort, that's a better one. Vitor Belfort cartwheel kicked Michael Bisping in the face, and it shattered his face, and, like, you know, he lost an eye as a result. Like, detached retina, all that shit, like, shattered orbital, like, just broke his face, like. And that was totally legal. So you can bare heel cartwheel kick someone in the head, and that's a legal strike. But you have to wear gloves. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You know, like, Joe Rogan's right when he said it's like I think it was him that said it anyway. It's like all that supposed, in quotes, like, safety shit is for the crowd. It's not for the fighters. The fighters would actually be way better off if they were just in underwear and that's it, you know. Fucking, like, sure, with the cup and all, like, like, I didn't know this, but it makes sense. But, like, I've heard that if you get your balls cut off, sure, like, you'll bleed out because there's, like, look, arteries and stuff down, loads of blood vessels, blah blah. It's like the groin area. You'll bleed out typically. So that's why they need to cauterize it if they're gonna, like, make a eunuch out of you and stuff like that, like, or do it like they do it with goats, so they put, like, a band around your balls or some shit, like. But I heard that, like, if your balls just get crushed, like, even not completely crushed, but crushed to, like, to a point, like, apparently that can, like, kill you, like, you know, like. So, like, I'm starting to be like, oh right, okay, so there's actually or like a definite medical reason. Like apart from like because like lads can get kicked in the balls. Lads can get kicked in the balls like real hard, and like think of all those like videos of like skaters where they're like doing a trick and they land on their balls. So never mind a kick in the bollocks, like your whole body weight mid-flight and you land on your bollocks. And there's dudes who have walked away from like if you want to see the toughest people on the planet pound for pound, it's skaters. Those lads willingly break themselves up with no protective equipment all the time and just get up and do it again, like, and they do it from like the age of 5, like hardcore skaters, man. Like, you know, those X Game lads, they're like the toughest people on the planet. They're the type of dudes that would break both their femurs and collarbones and 3 ribs, and like they'll like do a trick in a wheelchair, like, do you know what I mean? Because they're just like, I can't not do high octane stuff. You know, like they'll be like in a cast in a wheelchair and they'll still go off a ramp, like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're the most hardcore, tough as fucking, hard as nails, balls to the wall bastards I know of. Like, fuck it. Like, they forget, you know, Aussie rules rugby where you have these huge lads with no equipment like running at each other and all this. People say that's like one of the most intense things, and they're like, sure, that's pretty intense, like, but these guys welly themselves off concrete, like, you know, after fucking jumping off a staircase with just a plank of wood as their like safety net. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you don't land this flush, you're gonna like twist your ankle, shatter your skull, mess up your collarbone, all this stuff. And like 2 weeks later, they're like fucking back in the skate park with a fucking cast on them, like, just like lunatics. Like, I fucking love them. I admire them so much. Like, but rollerbladers are gay. Skaters are awesome. Rollerbladers are faggots. Shout out to Tim Pill. Oh. If you're ever in the mood for a non-violent, fun 2-player game, check out It Takes Two. Me and the female played through that. Yeah, it's good. It's good fun. It's creative. It's very wholesome, very creative, very entertaining. It's a bit woke and gay. It's a bit woke and gay. When I was playing it, I was like, like, I can smell the woke off this. But any opportunity to play a video game with a female, we played Overcooked 1 and 2. They are incredibly entertaining, but you have to be careful because it can cause arguments. Brilliant game. Overcooked 1 and 2 are brilliant couch play games where you have to like sort ingredients on conveyor belts and cook shit and slice stuff, and you can throw ingredients across the kitchen to each other and stuff, and all. Like, fucking mad entertaining, genuinely difficult at times, and like really cool for like playing with your significant other. Requires like communication, teamwork, like, which is why it causes arguments. I told you to keep throwing the lettuce over here. I'm sorry. I was like, what? Why isn't that fucking steak ready? I accidentally put it in the bin. Okay, I'm cutting another one. Like, it's fucking brilliant. It's genuinely hilarious. Like, really entertaining shit. Like, fucking Overcooked. Brilliant. It Takes Two is good, but it's like, It Takes Two is one of those things where like you play it once and that's it, it's gone, you'll never play it again because it's just a linear experience. But like, it's definitely entertaining, very well done, very well executed mechanically, and like, you know, do you know what it reminded me of was all the platformers we grew up with, like Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter and Spyro and Croc, fucking Mario. It reminded me of like just a genuinely good platformer, with like puzzles and shit. Because that's what it is. It's just a high, like a high quality platformer, narrative-driven platformer, and it's co-op and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like it's good, but it's unfortunate. Like, it's not the sort of thing I'd want to pay full price for. I don't think it like, well, it might be digitally, but like I would pay full price for that because like you're only gonna play it once. So, like, I hate shit like that. You're paying 70 fucking quid or whatever on release for a game you're only gonna play one time. And it only takes you, like, it didn't even take us that long to finish it, like, do you know what I mean? Like, what I'd love is, like, me and the female played Divinity Original Sin together. And I think we kind of just got bored with it, like, but like, we got really into it for a while. And that's like a fucking turn-based action RPG, like. I'd love a fucking, like a story-driven co-op looter shooter, like fucking what's it? Remnant from Ashes was really cool. The DLC runs like dog shit in the PlayStation though, for some reason. So unfortunately, when I tried to go back to it, I was like, oh, what is this frame rate shit? Oh. But, there's loads of good shit out there. There's loads of good shit out there. Well, no, there's a few. There's lots of shit out there. There's lots of mediocre trash out there, but like, there's a few like fairly decent ones. You know, depending on what your other half is entertained by and stuff. Like the female played Fortnite, you know. Female will fucking shoot your ass. She's gas. Like, she's not great at shooting. She's not great at aiming.
Nescafe Gold Blend is about much more than
she's really good at strategy though. Really good at strategy and puzzles and like, you know, anything that requires like resource management and allocation and stuff like that. She's really good at that shit. Like, that game, I think I told the story before. That game, fucking Clash of Heroes, where it's like you have all these rows of monsters that you have to basically play Tetris with, essentially. It's like Connect 4 kind of thing, where it's like if you get 3 of them in a row or 2, or like 3 of them diagonally or some shit like that, they form into more powerful rows and then they like attack your opponent and shit. So you're playing a puzzle game to do damage to your opponent. It's cool. It reminded, like, there was something back in the day. It was like one of the Mortal Kombat games had like combat Tetris in it or something. Where like the both of you are playing Tetris, and like you get like power-ups and like opportunities to do damage to each other, or like freeze. Like if you were Sub-Zero, you could freeze your opponent's playing field. So their blocks would start building up. You know, they wouldn't be able to put them down and stuff, and it would freeze it for like 3 or 4 seconds, like, you know. And like stuff like that would be horrible. Like, so you're like trying to fucking like push it down, and it's already up here, and your opponent just like freezes it for 3 seconds, and you're like, oh shit, where do I put it now? Like, you know, some of that stuff's really cool. But it's hard to try and find, like, you know, something that the two of you will like really get into and get hours of entertainment out of, you know. Like Divinity Original Sin was like, I think the most hours we were like playing something together, because we would have to do like, you know, resource management, fucking, you know, she had a like, I can't remember what kind of character she was playing as. I think she was a mage or something, like, and I was like a two-handed specialist or some shit, like, so that, you know, and the combat is turn-based, you know, so like, but I think like she's well able, like it's almost like it's adorable and it's funny when like she starts like, you know, oh, my fireball spell is like, you know, she's like investing in skills and stuff, and she starts like, you know, reaping the rewards of like the way she's developing the character and all, like, and like I remember one time she like completely ended like 2 opponents on the playing field with 1 hit and all. And she was like, "Oh yeah," and I was just like, like, because like as a gamer, like you know that feeling, like you know. I recently bought a PS2 with a couple of old games I used to play back in the day. Looking forward to seeing how well they hold up. Yeah, well, like fucking yeah. I don't mean to be a buzzkill, but like I've done that a few times, and like, some games do hold up. Some games do. Most games don't. Most games, the nostalgia wears off after around an hour, and then all the stuff that used to bug you about those games when you were playing them starts bugging you again, and you're like, oh, new games are so much better. It's weird. It's like you think going back and playing old games is going to give you that sense of like, yeah, old games were amazing, new games are trash. No. Most of them you go back and you're like, yeah man, new games are way better. Like, but don't get me wrong, there's some that hold up. Jak and Daxter holds up. Jak and Daxter 1, 2, 3 on the PS2 holds up to fuck. I really enjoyed playing that again. So like, fuck you, Naughty Dog, for wokeifying yourselves and going the way you went, especially after making a masterpiece like The Last of Us, the first one anyway. Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy by Naughty Dog Studios on the PS2. Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy, Jak 2 and Jak 3 are, I think, the best action adventure games in the PS2 era. Like in the genre it's in. Like obviously God of War is there, but that's not like an action adventure. That is like a hardcore like hack and slash high difficulty combat driven game. You know, because I know a lot of people would be like, no, there's like loads of franchises that are so much better. I'd be like, look, yeah, like there's loads of different things, but like I think a lot of people would agree with me that like Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy, Jak 2 and Jak 3 are fucking next level incredible games that were on the PS2. All three, like, they got better every iteration, and you don't always get shit like that, you know. Like Gears of War is like incredibly famous because of that reason. Gears 1 was fucking incredible. Gears 2 was better. Gears, like, mostly, and then Gears 3 was like way better, way, like, you know, visually, aesthetically, mechanically, like all of it, like, you know. Gears, there was a few things when I started playing Gears 2, like the second I fired the assault rifle in Gears 2, I was like, oh no. It went from like, in Gears 1, the Lancer assault rifle was this like punchy, peppery, 60 round, like high caliber assault rifle, like it was like when you were firing it like full pelt at a locust, and like you just see blood coming off them, and like, you know, they're taking hits and stuff, like, and you have to put that many rounds in them because like they're really tough alien dudes. It was visceral, it was satisfying, it was fucking awesome. And then in fucking Gears of War 2, for some reason they made the thing sound like it was like, fuck it, it made the thing sound like it was flinging darts using gas. It was weird. It was like like, it was weird. It was just like this, like, it was so muted compared to the first one. Like, now they kind of brought it back with the third one. Kinda, not really. They kind of brought it back with the third one, but not really. The first one, the Lancer assault rifle in the first Gears of War just had this like oomph to it, you know. And it's funny because when I look at Halo, the generic Halo just assault rifle went through a similar thing, where like in one of the Halos it sounded like very plasticky. I think it was Halo 3, where it sounded very like, it sounded like it was made out of plastic. It sounded like a plastic gun. And then in Halo 4, the generic assault rifle like was like really punchy, but it wasn't that effective. It's weird. It's one of those things that I can imagine is quite difficult to get right in game development, where like you have a gun, well you have all these guns, and they all have like varying like levels of efficacy and stats and stuff like that. It's like, all right, how accurate is this thing? How many rounds does this thing take to kill you and shit like that? Like, it's it can be difficult to balance, especially stuff like shotguns and shit. Because like shotguns in real life can kill you from like 100 feet away. Like realistically, like, do you know what I mean? Like, those things are 9mm pellets, and like shotguns don't spread as much as people think they do. Well, shotguns don't spread as much as people think they do, as quickly or as soon as people think they do, Like, the pellets in a shotgun will actually stay quite closely grouped together for, like, quite a distance, Like, even when you saw them off, like... Depends on the shell you're using, Like, double up book is like not. It's not like you get like a massive hole, like, do you know what I mean, that you see in some movies and in games and stuff. Like, double up book, you just put a fucking melon-sized hole in a truck, which is still a big hole, but it's not like you see in some movies like some dude pulls out a pump action, like your basic like 12 gauge Mossberg, with the brown pump and stock or whatever, and just like holds it at the hip and shoots at a guy through a wall. In a house or something, and like it's like fucking 2 feet across or something. It's like, a sawn-off wouldn't even do that. Like, maybe, depending on what kind of thing you were doing. Like, don't get me wrong, they put a big hole, but not a whole lot big. Like, and I'm just rambling, but like, they're always like misrepresenting shotguns and shooters, where like it doesn't have enough spread and stopping power, or it has too much, or like you can hit them too far away. Like I remember playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, and I had a grip, I had a foregrip and the steady aim perk on my M40 semi-automatic shotgun thing, and like I drilled dudes from fucking like in game, like 40 feet away, which is a lot in game. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, a good distance. Like, they'd come out of a building across the road, and from the hip I just go blam, and then put them down. Like, it's fucking brilliant. Like, depends on the choke and shot size, but yeah, most think they spread faster than they do. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I know you can put a big hole in something with a shotgun, but like, I'm right, it's all about the choke with shotgun loads. Phrasing. It's all about choke with the loads. Dirty bastard. Yeah, it's like, it's like movies. They fucking exaggerate shit and all, like, Oh, God. Right, I'm gonna leave it there, lads. Fucking absolutely knackered. Oh, glorious skipper. I need to get some food into me. I have a commission to finish that has taken me far too long. God bless Malbear and her patience. And God bless all of you for tuning into PEINTEINGU. And remember, if you have any honor, you pay for PEINTEINGU. Link in description. That made me fling Garo, Sasha. Anyway. Oh. I bid you adieu, my beloved Japanites. Shotguns are the best guns. I'll fight you. I think I'd agree with you. I'm a big sniper. I'm a big bolt-action rifle fan, and I really like guns in general. But most of the time, I'm always like, what situation can you not handle with the correct shotgun and correct shell? I mean, realistically, like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you have a, what's that thing called, an 870 MCS or an 860 MCS? Just Remington pump action shotgun, black, very standard, military edition, black pump action shotgun. If you have varying rounds and shells, you can take on a myriad of opponents at multiple distances in varying ways, behind cover, You know, all sorts of, like, they have door breaching rounds that like fire fucking superheated, what is it, magnesium or copper or filaments or some shit that are used to like bust out, like to like just melt door hinges so you can get through a door. You got deer slugs, which is basically a 50 cal round. You know what I mean? Like, a deer slug is just one of the most intimidating things ever. And it, like, if you were to tell me that like I'm like a guy is spawning, a guy is gonna start that end of this arena, and I'm gonna start this end of this arena, and I have a 9mm pistol, and that guy has a 12 gauge deer slug throwing pump action shotgun with like, you know, 8 rounds in it or some shit, like, and I've got like 15 rounds in my 9mm, like, do you know what I mean? I'd be bricking it, cause like one fucking from him even clips me, and I'm going to suffer massive. Do you know what I mean? Like that, like a deer slug could graze you. It could like peripherally hit you, and still like take a, it could take a finger off, take a chunk out of your hand. Like, if a deer slug hits, it's the same. Like, it's the same as a 50. The caliber is so high. There's so much mass there that it's going to remove like whatever it hits. Do you know what I mean? Like, but like I could graze him or hit him peripherally. You know, graze him, glance shot him, non-lethally shoot him with a 9mm, and he'd be like, "Oh," but still be in the fight. You know, I get hit with a fucking glancing shot of a fucking deer slug, and there's like a high chance like I'm not fucking moving. Like, like, oh, fine, just leave them. Whips out KS-23, bring it on. Is the KS-23 is that bullpup shotgun, isn't it? It's a gorgeous looking weapon. Buckshot is the Alzheimer. Slugs can be deadly accurate out well past one. Yeah, that's my point. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can snipe with a deer slug shotgun. I've seen guys do it. Like, do you know what I mean? You can accurately and reliably hit long distance targets with a shotgun. All you need is a deer slug. You don't even need a deer slug. You can accurately and reliably hit long distance targets with double aught buck. It's just not going to be that effective. But you will, like, some of the pellets will hit the fucking thing, and those are 9mm rounds, you know. So like, that ain't no 22 hitting you. Like, you still pepper a motherfucker up, like, do you know what I mean? Like, 9mm and double aught buckshot are the same. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. So like, what's like, is it 8 or 12 in the shell? Is it 8 or 12? Is it only 6? I can't remember. But they're basically 9mm rounds, like, you know. It's fucking wild, like. That's why when 1 or 2 of them hits you close together, that's why you start getting those huge exit wounds, because it's like 2 9mm hit you in roughly the same spot, and then like exit roughly in the same spot. You get these massive trauma points, like, you know, it's fucking. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. KS-23 is a 4-bore, what's that called? 4-bore pump gun? Oh, no way. What's the thing I'm thinking of then? I can't remember. Hashtag scatter guns rule. Indeed, I completely agree. I love shotguns, especially the pumps. There's just something about pumping it, like, you know what I mean? Phrasing. I do love to pumpu. Right, my beloved Japanites. I'll talk to you later. Support the stream. Love the stream. I know you do. I know you will. Defenderoo out. This is who we found his weakness. Just keep talking games and shit. Right, you should have said talking guns.